already. Chiwa, LewN, sociablEE, all there. And it is LeeF stuck on the other side. He'll be hearing all of these footsteps running along into the direction of JonahP. Still no first fight taken though, and no deep control on A, so they've walked straight into the empty house.
Yeah, and that's it. And the BBL, they know that they have to go and clear out B main, but at that point, Hazza, you've got Trent just hanging on the edge there. There's a real idea of what G2 and what they want to do.
Solid call from Jamppi. He's behind this for the time being. 50 seconds on the clock. The spike is yet to hit the ground, and neither is a drop of blood. It's a stalemate for now. Stunned. It's up by his own teammate. In goes jawgemo. Gets nothing back from it, but G2 start to pile on the pressure. BBL down by a man. Jamppi trying to keep them in this, but now it's all on the Finnish IGL to make this one happen. A 1 versus 2 with a ghost in his hand. The aftershock to clear out the backside play, but there's a double up waiting. Flash to divide it. Still, G2 paired at the hip. It's Jonah and valyn, the two longest standing players on this America's squad. They continue to chip away at him as time runs out. It's feeling almost hopeless for Jamppi to reverse this stack that they're going to face up against early. LewN trying to beat the util trap, eventually forced to give it up though. Trent peeking in with the C's. Lots of utility here, still that war of attrition between the two. And finally BBL put their foot down. A triad of openers has set them up nicely to destroy G2's bonus.
It's not only that though, right? Like, you do really well, they're taking a pause, and now like BBL can start to gain the extra advantages, right? Like, there's an orb there to be picked up, they've got time to get the spike onto the right player and prioritize ultimates for the future rounds.
While we have a little bit of time here in the mid-round as well, I do want to look at those macro calls for the next few rounds, because when you're considering valyn, someone who ahead of this was saying, I'm built for the best of ones, I'm from VCS, I've got that history, and has had so much time in this role as the dedicated captain of this team, against Jamppi, who has had simple yet effective on-the-fly calling, walking into lead in America's Stage 2.
Hazza. Look at how they've escaped up towards top mid. Now this poses a real threat to G2. What the round looks like. A lot of space conceded. That was a dink, but it wasn't a conversion. Now LeeF under threat as all of BBL look to descend upon the B site. LeeF trying to play around his setup. Does he survive for much longer? The answer is no, and the answer is no to Chiwa's as well. We're down to a 3v3.
jawgemo has already arrived though, and in from main, he isn't going to be as well supported as you would hope from what I was talking about. Just the C's available, but Trent is putting his gun to good use. That's sociablEE down, and a man advantage for G2 into this retake.
Yeah, another thing to note, Jamppi, if he gets the spike down, does mean the Rolling Thunder comes online. G2 will divide their forces and look to conquer as they go through market. BBL looking towards this side. Jamppi needs to be aware of perhaps jawgemo coming out of CT.
Looking to play off the contact of his teammate. Ult was considered, but perhaps needs to put a bit more confidence in this with a kill before choosing to invest. He won't. Trent G2 with tools to play retake, but they're immediately up the guts of mid. valyn leading this charge. He'll get his first, but nothing more. Pinstripe in the feed. One back for BBL. 3 on 3.
That's the big thing. In BBL, they've been corralled in towards tiles. G2 will think that the easy option, go towards A. That's exactly what BBL will do. Fight down and give out the forecast.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, considering that we saw G2 for a couple of rounds fight early A, but still be so comfortable here to just play that retake towards this side of the map. PROFEK, not with the open plant, it's going to be backside. Already some fights looking to be taken towards Link, but they're denied.
Yeah, this is something that BBL have done a couple of times, try and bait out the plant spot, but oh my god, jawgemo being absolutely massive, and now it's sociablEE to give his attempt. What can he do? G2 need to play together and not gift 1v1 to sociablEE, because if they do, there's always looking to set up anybody, try and grab towards market. There isn't going to be capitalization, but that null command will absolutely gut everyone from the B site. In terms of traps though, LeeF is nowhere to be seen, so there is a capitalization element on this site.
sociablEE getting spiked down, 5 versus 5, as you say. Ult's important. jawgemo could still be light on his feet, coming back in with the overdrive. You have to think about Jamppi's ult later on, though. I say that, scratch it. He's gone straight in. Problem is, there's no capitalization. 2 players hit towards Boba, one of them jawgemo. Now let off the rip. He's ready to go. Ult coming in. Still BBL finding kills for themselves, and it's jawgemo that goes down. Only Trent and Valyn left to try and recover this situation. Bunkered up in the backside as BBL bear on down in front of them, holding these aggressive lines. Doubled up, ready to go. Valyn has managed to pick one off, but LewN gets his third, still not dead. It's gone down to the wire, Cairo. There's nothing in. But do they anticipate the second or third? Nades to clear. Knife will certainly give them that themselves now. Can the Turkish squad hold?
That's the question. JonahP being found out. That Rolling Thunder will come online, but it's at his death. Valyn now with a stinger in the hands, and well, when you're up against a big swing round.
LewN, first player forwards, caught by the paranoia, the stun in tow. Trent guarding the back lines. PROFEK will go down. It's a double up on the G2 side. Well supported from this point in time, yet BBL will continue to walk into jawgemo's crosshair. Magnetic, it snaps to yet another head, flying across the screens.
Taking the time, though, moving in. The first point of contact, and sociablEE takes the head clean off, but you still have Jog to go up against.
And that is not a fight which he is going to win. Trent on the other extremity, getting inquisitive, asking questions of BBL and finding the answer out the hard way. Jamppi with a trade. It's a 3-on-3. There are upgrades now. BBL, every single player has a rifle. And from the backside, Valyn will be well supported by his teammates' utility. They have held on to this one firmly. And BBL have to assess their options with 35 seconds left. It looks like a freeze.
That's it, but if JonahP walks forward and gives up his position, puts G2 at a really difficult spot.
Yeah, he's the canary in the coal mine. He has all of the information. The last 2 players will stay here, and G2 have the setup.
I mean, nice utility to clear out backside. Valyn still persists, though, and hasn't truly been cleared. And now, just a swing. It's easy as that. A quick collection and all the information now exactly where everyone is. G2, it's as simple. Oh, Valyn? Hello? Tier 1 talent. He's not truly found himself being punished every single time. And look right here, the trap set up. jawgemo straight away on the mark.
Jamppi trying to dissect this one. Not knowing where to go. Calls the only play that he can possibly make in the situation. Through the smoke before
right, you're seeing BBL are asking questions. And for the most part, G2 have had the answers. Sending it through, the trap wires actually catching players, and well, Leaf will easily collect that up. jawgemo getting in on the act as well. Right now, BBL have to rely upon chiwa to try and get something to work with. He's got the first, but can't quite get the second. Rolling Thunder to try and push backside, but chiwa is the one to get 3. Hello, BBL. They're rocking on this round and looking to take it themselves.
Brilliant work from chiwa, but this is going to be another quick retake from G2, or at the very least, they'll have the info on a couple of those players.
Tether Trails giving away where players are playing from, but it's still slow and methodical from G2. They make their way in, and it's Valyn who gets the first in the retake. Trent was on the spike, but didn't realise chiwa was to the left-hand side. One more player to fight, or else they'll never be able to be used again. The expiry date is up, and well, so is PROFEK's expiry date. He's off the board, using the showstopper, maybe out of panic from LewN, expecting more players to come through, but won't get any value.
It's not a full disengage though. G2 still hanging around in mid. Jaw, hot to trot. He'll keep going. There's plenty left in the tank. And now this is something that I wanted to draw upon as well. You come into a round where you run straight into the Cypher setup. What did G2 do in terms of the change-up? It's just a little bit more aggression. Still, the trap's up on B. The one top mid just broken. Leaf has slotted right into the backlines though, and there is a double-pronged approach to this A hold.
The fact that G2 have information on every single place that BBL goes is going to be a disaster, and what's even more of a disaster is that Haunt not being shot. It gives away both players.
And as soon as that happens, Leaf starts to take his timing. It's cerebral. BBL have been freezing in these positions before, but they realize the game is up. They've got to go, and go they... that he was created in a lab. The duelist machine And I tell you what, he's found the opener for them here as well. Leading the charge towards A, it's opened up for post.
The thing is though, Hazza, while they got the entry pick, losing the player in mid gives BBL so much freedom not to look towards mid anymore and to actually just focus fully on that A site.
4-on-4, BBL setting their feet here for the retake, but as soon as they look to send it in motion, G2 are 2 steps ahead of the curve. Sliding back in is Jaw for more. He won't fill his boots any further, but he's dropped a whole lot of empty pairs on the floor. Jamppi to walk BBL into this second half to give them half a chance. In fact, he's managed to fight several times so far.
Oh, he has been caught out, but been able to bounce back and keep himself alive. At the meantime, the state of play isn't that every single player for G2 is on the A site. There is a lurker coming through and Leaf later on. In terms of what's happening on the site, BBL have taken the advantage and stopped any plant from going down. Trent holding on towards CT, Leaf now getting into position to hold short. While the spike goes down, players are making their way on towards site and they're not winning the fights at all. G2 go one to the goods.
Looking worlds above in this round, and BBL soon may have to cut their losses on these rifles. Trying to make the attempt. The time is against them. That wick is burning thin. G2, you have sort of seen a lot of the less experienced teams walk in and kind of say to themselves, oh guys, you know, no one knows us here. You've got that sense of the unknown. You want to use that to your advantage. Not really seen it from BBL, and on this round, it is just G2 walking in and making the game their own. And the city at the end of the sun, it might just be the end of the road. There is nothing held back about this. Spike yet to be committed, but a statement of intent as G2 have already taken a lot of space for their own.
Yeah. Well, as they start to move in towards the site, they still haven't cleared chiwa, and that's the big thing. And now, Hazza with the Neuro Theft invested, they know exactly where players are. They've been a bit loose in terms of the ultimates invested, a Rolling Thunder as well, trying to capitalise and extend themselves one step further, but they still have to be wary about where G2 is. Leaf at least gets one back, but will leave it in a 1 versus 4 for Valyn.
Known for his clutches. 4 players not exactly out of the wheelhouse. He'll give it a go, but jawgemo is the calling card of this attack side. Without his presence, they are yet to call it in, but he's spotted by LewN, and that's going to be the first pick that BBL can find on the B site. The rest of the numbers need to do their job and hold this one down, though. Already Valyn in so far as the backside with his ult, and they can set up quite comfortably here to convert from a 4-on-4.
I mean, look at towards the plant spot as well, Hazza. It's towards the old plant spot that used to be so powerful in that backside situation. The thing for me, though, is Trent coming through late, taking his time and posing a threat late rounds.
It's all about the experience, the stress, the nerves in the moment. Could they perhaps not account for Trent's flank? It'll be coming in, but for the time being, G2 needs to hold on the site, and JonahP can do that. Trades out with Jamppi. 3 versus 3 situation. BBL come back to life. Trent to save the day. His reveal has noted sociable. He'll go wide, but hit the mark head on. 30